Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be reading a random book off of my bookshelf, and I have done this video a couple of times in the past, and I have done the number method where it generates a number for a shelf and then generates a number for a book on that shelf. But this time I'm going to be doing the prompt edition. I don't know if this has ever been done before, but basically I have my jar full of prompts, and this is the jar that I used for my TBR video, and this jar basically just has a bunch of random prompts in it, and the goal is to find a book on my shelf that meets the prompt, and it has to be a book from my shelf. It cannot be like a Kindle Unlimited book or anything like that. I can't buy a book. There is a prompt in here to buy a book, and I cannot buy a book to fulfill the prompt because I'm trying to read the books that I already own and have not read. So I'm gonna try this version out to see if I like it over the number method and just kind of see where it goes from there. But so I am going to pick a random prompt out of this, and I'm gonna try not to do any that are series or anything like that. So I got two. I'm gonna go with, they're both the same color. I think I'm gonna go with this one that was on the bottom. And if I don't have a book on my shelf that fits the prompt, then I'm just gonna pick again. All right, so this one is a 5-word title, and I'm sure I have some books on my shelf that I have not read that have 5 words in the title. It's not uncommon, I guess, to have a long title. So I'm going to look through my shelves and see if I can find a book that has a 5-word title that I have not read. Okay, so after looking through my shelves, I did find a few options to read, and so I picked 3, and I don't know if I'm gonna do all 3 during this video or just one. But so the first one is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have read Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones and the Six, and I think that's it from Taylor Jenkins Reid. But I did enjoy both of those. I want to say I gave both of them 5 stars. If not, I think I gave Malibu Rising like 4, 4.5. But I know for a fact that I did give Daisy Jones 5 stars, and I have read it a couple of times, so I do know that I really enjoy that story. But I haven't yet to read The 7 Husbands, and I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I know Mick Riva is in this book as well, because he was in Malibu Rising, and I think he was mentioned once in like Daisy Jones, but I know that he is a husband in this book. So I am interested to read this book and see what I think on it. I also ended up picking King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair, and this is a fantasy romance, and I think this is about a vampire, I think, and it follows, I believe, like the Greek gods maybe. I did read A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair last year and really enjoyed it. I never ended up picking up the second book, even though I really enjoyed the first book. I don't know why I never picked up the second one, but it's definitely something that I want to get back to, and I think I definitely will probably end up rereading A Touch of Darkness. But I've had this on my shelves for a little bit and it sounded good, so I'm excited to see if maybe I like this one. And then also I picked up The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. So this is by Marianne Zapata, and this is a romance about football, I think. And obviously because it's Marianne Zapata, it's gonna be a slow burn, and it's pretty chunky for a romance, but I have read a couple of Marianne Zapata's books in the past and have absolutely loved them. So I figured why not maybe pick this one up as well. So out of these 3, I need to choose one because I don't want this video to be a million years long, and I'm supposed to be reading a random book from my bookshelf, not 3 random books from my bookshelf. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have Siri pick a number 1 through 3, and so for this we're gonna have, this is gonna be number 1, this one's gonna be number 2, and this is gonna be number 3. So we're gonna ask her, hey Siri, pick a number 1 through 3.
It's 2.
Siri said that it is 2. So that means King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair, and that's what I'm going to be reading during this video. I have not been in my fantasy wave this year, so it'll be good to get a fantasy under my belt, even though this is fantasy romance, but it still counts. I am not sure if I'm going to be starting this book today or not, because I am in the middle of another book right now that I'm planning on finishing today. So if I do end up finishing that and feel like reading more later, then I'm going to pick this up. But if not, then I'm just going to be reading this as I go and filming clips and updates and things of my thoughts and feelings. It's not very long. It's not too long. It's about 300 pages, probably like 383 pages. So something I could probably finish in a day, but I'm not going to sit down and binge read this today because, like I said, I have another book that I want to finish before I start this one, but this will definitely be the next book that I pick up. And that's gonna be it for right now, and I will probably update you guys once I have an update on this book. Hello, so this is my first update since I have started King of Battle and Blood. So I'm currently on page 140, which is the start of chapter 9, and I just kind of wanted to give an update on it really quickly. So far I am enjoying it. I'm not sure if this is like a retelling or anything, because I know that Scott St. Clair's other series, like her Touch of Darkness series, is a retelling, and I feel like this is a retelling, but then again, like, I don't know, I'm not super hip, I guess you could say, when it comes to like Greek mythology and like retellings of things like that. But basically this follows Adrian, and he is the king of the vampires, also known as the Blood King, and it follows Princess Isolde. I feel like that's wrong, but I feel like, I'm not sure, but her name is Isolde, I think. And so it follows Princess Isolde, and she is the daughter of the king of Cordova, and basically they are at war. So the vampires versus the humans are at war, and obviously the vampires are a lot more powerful than the humans, and it describes it as being 5 humans per 1 vampire. So obviously they are like losing this war. And so Isolde's father, who is the king over their part of Cordova, it is Laura, the house of Laura, because there's 9 kings, or like 9 houses of Cordova, and so they are over the house of Laura. And so basically the Blood King has come to ask for Isolde's hand in marriage in order for him basically to not attack Laura, because he is planning to become the king of Cordova and not just being the king of, I think it's like Revka, which is where the vampires live. So far I am actually enjoying this for the most part. It is definitely like an enemies to lovers, a like arranged marriage of sort, even though technically she did volunteer herself to marry him, because she basically was like, I want to protect my people, and the only way that I can protect my people is if I marry him. But obviously it's starting to kind of backfire on her a little bit, and she's starting to kind of realize the implications of her decision to marry him, and how she might not ever be able to go back to Laura because the people hate Adrian so much. But so far I love Adrian. He is just like everything, except he's blonde, which we're just pretending that he's not. But other than that, you know, so far he has been so good to her, and he can like read her mind and stuff. And it's so funny because she'll be thinking something about like how much she hates him, and he'll be like, yeah, it's fine, like, yeah, I know you want to kill me, but like, it's fine, try it again, you know. And he's just so chill about the whole thing, and he is just so like nice to her, even though she like hates him. and he basically is just like, I promise that I would protect you and your people, and like that's really it. Like I would never hurt you or your people unless they, you know, hurt you or like came after me first. And so I'm loving it so far. I do, however, have a, I guess you could say, complaint about the writing. So basically, not that it's written badly or anything, but my main complaint would be that I feel like it's not separated well, because you know how in some books it'll be like there will have like separations in the text. I'm trying to see if I can find one, but I feel like there needs to be separations in the text, if that makes sense. I feel like there are none in this book when there needs to be, because there will be a part that's happening and that part will end, and instead of there being like a separation in the text where it's like a page break and it starts like the next part, I feel like there needs to be that, and there isn't. So there will be something that happens, then it'll just end, and then it'll just cut to the next part as like part of the next line, instead of it being like, okay, this happened, page break, now we're talking about this next thing that happened. And so it is kind of like running together a little bit and a little bit confusing as far as like that's concerned. But other than that, like I don't have any complaints. I'm really liking it. It is spicy, I will say that. So if you are not looking for a spicy book, then I definitely would not recommend this, because there was like hints of spice starting in like chapter 2. So, and I'm only in chapter 9 right now, so, and there's already been like a couple of like spicy scenes already, and I'm like 140 pages in, which isn't even like halfway through yet. So definitely go into this with caution if you are not someone who likes a lot of spice, or if you care about spice in your books and you don't want that, or if you're okay with some spice, but like just kind of be cautious about this one, I guess. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I think I'm gonna read a little bit more. I'm probably going to read a little bit more. I don't think I'll finish this tonight. I think I might try and finish it tomorrow, but I'm gonna read a little bit more of this tonight before I go to bed, and I will update you guys again later. Hello, so it is day 2 of me reading King of Battle and Blood. I am currently on chapter 16, which is 288 pages in. So I am getting pretty close to being done. I would say I'm probably about like 75% done with this, and I am enjoying it. However, it's not super like plot heavy. Like obviously there is a plot, but like the plot is like slow, if you will. So not saying that it's bad because the plot is slow, but it's definitely like taking a slower route, I guess, if you will. So basically Isolde is with Adrian at the Red Palace. Basically, I don't want to say any spoilers, so I'm just trying to like think about what I can say without spoiling anything. So basically Isolde is with Adrian at the Red Palace in Adrian's like home kingdom or whatever, and she is basically just like learning what she can about everything that she learned as like a child and like growing up, because she's learning that a lot of the things that she was taught as a kid have been like wrong. And Adrian mentioned to her, he said that history is about perspective, and so she's learning to look at her like country's history through the eyes of the vampires and what they had going on. And so she's starting to kind of like put it together for herself and starting to believe what she thought she knew is all completely wrong. So it's definitely interesting to see her learning about this stuff, and her relationship with Adrian is still very like, I don't want to say toxic. I did see their relationship described as toxic, but it's definitely like he falls for her first, and she just like cannot accept that she has feelings feelings for him, that she likes him, and that even though he's her enemy, like she's just so stuck on the fact that he's her enemy, and she won't like let herself have feelings for him, even though she definitely does have feelings for him. So it definitely is a little bit frustrating on that front, because it's like this man is literally willing to give you anything and everything that you ask for and could hope for, and you literally can't even like pretend like you like him, even though you obviously do like him. So it is just a little frustrating on that point, but you can definitely tell that Adrian really likes her and that he has so much respect for her, because Isolde is such a like badass main character. Like she does not take any crap from anybody. Like she knows what she wants and she says what she wants, and she is like just so attuned with herself as a person and what she's willing to put up with and what she's not. And so it's definitely really refreshing to see that type of main character. And so it definitely does make the dynamic between Isolde and Adrian interesting, because she very much has that like bite and that fight about her, and Adrian doesn't want to fight with her. So she's just like resisting, and he's like, yeah, like you can resist all you want, but like I'm here and like you're my wife and I'm gonna do what you ask. And so it's just like fun to see. But so far I am enjoying it. I did order the second book in the series. I know that it came out in December, so I did go ahead and order the second book in the series because I do want to continue on with the story and see, even though I haven't exactly finished it yet, but I do have a feeling that it's probably going to end on a cliffhanger. So I did go ahead and order the next book, and I am excited to read that one. And then I think after I read this series, I think I might return to the Touch of Darkness series. I definitely want to reread the first one. I did read it last year, I'm pretty sure, at the very beginning of the year, so it has been like around a year since I read it. But I have read a lot of books between the last time I read that and like now, so I definitely would want to reread it and then continue on with the series, because I'm definitely really enjoying like Scarlett St. Clair's writing, and the way that she like describes things in her writing style is really easy to read, except for the whole like page break thing, which, you know, I can figure out a way around that, I guess. But I did finally find a page break, so she did start page breaking at one point, so at least there's that. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was trying to like focus more on my face then. But yeah, so she finally started using page breaks, and I personally just felt like there needed to be more of those than there has been. And there also has been like a like flashback or like a vision kind of scene, and it was kind of hard to tell the difference between what was reality and what wasn't. But I wonder if that's kind of like the point, you know? I don't know. But I do think that I'm gonna put this down for tonight. I do only have, like I said, a little bit left, like less than 100 pages, but my head has been hurting, so I think I am going to go to bed here soon. I see myself finishing this tomorrow for sure. I have a shorter day at work tomorrow, so I definitely see myself finishing this when I get off, and I wanted to finish this before the end of the month, so I definitely do see that happening as well. But I think that is going to be all for this update, and I will update you guys again once I finish the book. So I wanted to give one final update on King of Battle and Blood, because I have just finished it, and I think that I'm going to end up rating this 3.5 stars. So this overall was pretty decent. It wasn't like the most fantastic story ever, however the ending was really, really good. It was like drama filled and like action packed, and it makes me want to go on to the next book, which I do see myself doing because I've already ordered it. So I do plan on reading the next book in the series, and I really did enjoy this for the most part. It was very heavy on the smut, like I mentioned earlier, and it did have a pretty like okay plot, but I'm definitely interested to see what Scarlett St. Clair does with the sprinkle of plot that we did get in this in the next book. This is not a favorite by any means, but I am happy that I was able to read this. And yeah, so I do feel like this challenge has been good for me because I have been reading books that I own. I've been finding some that I love, some that are, you know, just okay, like this one. But yeah, so if you guys like these videos, make sure to let me know because I will continue to film these videos if you are liking them. I'm having such a good time filming them. So yeah, but I do think that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I will have all of my social medias linked down in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.